Greetings on this beautiful day, walking on Mother Earth. What a blessing to be surrounded by all of our relations, to feel the warmth and the love of all of our people, stone people, plant people, water people, tree people, all of our people, reminded that Mother is alive, fully alive and fully aware of herself. So blessed to be here and able to share this with you here today. Earth Day on the Mother. My heart tells me Earth Day should be every day. But I'm so happy at least we have this day. I'm reminded of a story I heard, about a fella who was at the birth of his baby and his wife was laying there in the bed, ready to give birth, and he and others were around wanting to contribute and participate in this birth. There was a juxtaposition there of this incredible joy and at the same time this deep feeling of change and transformation taking place. I wanted to do everything we could to participate and contribute to the woman we love the most. And then I was reminded that that woman actually is Mother Earth, and she's always given birth. And we, as attendants to that birth, long to contribute and participate in her birth. Yeah, and so that's our relationship with the earth itself, because in fact we are walking through creation, because some aspect of our mother's life is being born all the time. It's a constant vigil of creation and of death. Having said that, we believe there really is no death, just a transformation into another world. So it's in my heart now. I think about the things that are happening and where we're going on this planet and traveling 66,000 miles an hour through a solar system and no one has a clue where we're going. I would think the fact, so many people on this planet, billions of people on this planet, they all came through a mother. And we're all going to die. I would think that's enough motivation and inspiration to have us all get along in the meantime. We're all human. We're the family of man. We have lots of families and relatives here, but we're the people. And once upon a time, we were the people of Earth. And then folks started giving us names. Those names are rather recent. We're much older than these names. We're the people. There's a lot of elders amongst our people who believe that the names help to separate us, to help to confuse the issue. And then people started thinking if they weren't these people, maybe they're those people. What are all these people, all these various names? I'd love to see a time when we all feel like we're all brothers and sisters. We're all together here. We're all riding the same rock. We all drink the same water. We all eat food from the same earth. We all have a mother. Nobody wants to raise their babies in a war zone. Children want to be safe. I'm reminded of a time I was in Kenya and I met these Maasai people. This Maasai Sangoma came over to me and wanted to introduce himself. And He spoke in the Maasai language. Of course, I didn't know what he said. It sounded deep and meaningful. I looked at my interpreter and I said, what did this fellow just say to me? My interpreter said, he asked you how the children are. I was so touched. I don't think anybody has ever asked me that question upon introduction. Then he went on to add that whatever my response was to that question would tell this Nganga Sangoma everything he needed to know about me and my culture, how we treat our children. So we got back into the camp and we started talking, and we felt like, wouldn't it be something if people actually realized we owe our existence to 12 inches of topsoil, the fact that it rains. So water becomes life, and children become the future. And it dawned on me that it seems now that we're destroying the life that gives us life. I don't understand. I have so many questions. I may not have answers, but I have so many questions. I really believe somewhere inside of me, probably my heart, that kindness seems to be one of the strong answers to the issue. It could be quite possible that it's better to be kind than it is to be right. Could be. I know right, everybody thinks they're right, but kindness is pervasive. We all agree when someone is kind. Yeah, and so one of the vigils right now is to have us all agree on altering the current global narrative, to get away with the low-frequency words that seem to be thrown around now in the language of racism and greed and fear and anger and rage, and replace those with safe places for our children, with love and kindness, with respect and dignity, compassion, forgiveness, all these wonderful characteristics that humans are capable of on a good day. Once upon a time, when we had a sustainable community for thousands of years, people thought of themselves as shepherds and stewards and caregivers. Whatever else they did to pass the time of day, they did it under the auspices of being a shepherd or a steward or a caregiver. How sweet is that? Could happen again, if we felt the empathy and compassion that everybody's carrying a burden. Everybody has issues. What if we could reawaken the heart to the ancient dreams of the rhythms and migrations that were a way of life for all our people when we actually did walk lightly upon the earth? And it was just strangers, angels in disguise, coming to meet us again. And instead of a wall, we had a big table where they could sit at, and we could get to know them and their stories. Because back in those days, no one asked what your name was. They just wanted to hear your story. So people would walk into the village and announce their arrival, and then we would say, "Oh, so what's your story?" If the story was a good story, they got to stick around and have dinner. If it wasn't a good story, everybody knew, and maybe their journey continued. And so those were the good days. These days are good too, considering the quality of ingredients in our recipes. But I would wish to expand this menu, I really do. So what if we could all feel like love is the healer and forgiveness is the medicine? And forgive ourselves and forgive each other and get along. There's children in the room. We have other issues. The Zulu people have a word in Daba. It means, I'm told that it means a meaningful conversation about what really matters. They do that twice a day. What if we actually sat down together, wherever we were, and had a meaningful conversation about what really matters? I don't believe these ideologies that we've surrendered to, these delusional phases of coyote medicine that we've adopted. We could move away from those and talk about what really matters. You know, the food, the topsoil, the trees, the water, the plant life. You know, in our language, in a lot of languages of the indigenous people, the word for plants is those that care for us. Imagine that. What if you had a relationship with your food as if your food was your caregiver, was your shepherd, was your steward, and then it gave you the information you needed to be a shepherd and a steward and a caregiver? What a sweet world it would be. I would like for you to imagine what that world looks like. I really feel that whatever we talk about actually becomes our destiny. So I suggest we only talk about the beautiful. We only talk about the compassionate. We only talk about the kindness. We only talk about the creation. Mother is alive. Mother is alive and aware of herself, and a solar system that's alive and aware of itself. I have this notion. I have seen that when a person, for instance, stubs their toe, the whole body gets involved. Well, right now, there's a lot of elders in the community that believes that the Earth is the stub toe of the solar system. And all of the rest of the stars and planets are getting involved and sending us the message. Message comes through the light. Light gives us the optical range of the electromagnetic spectrum that we can actually see. That light continues to bring us two messages. As it was in the beginning, so it is now. The first message was to love the creation with all your heart. The second message was to love each other as if we're all family, as if we're all in the same planet. We're all eating the same food from the same soil. We're all drinking the same water from the same mother. We all came through a mother. There's so many things that make us the same. There's so many things we have in common that we really have to look for the things that are different. We almost have to imagine them because they're not even real. They're part of an ideology. When you actually look at another human being, you're seeing another creation of the Great Spirit. The DNA is the same. I mean, we're only 2% different from the gorilla people and the orangutan people. We're not too far DNA and chromosomes from a banana. And so I'm thinking, who do we think we are? You know, we're part of this life. We're not in charge of it. We're supposed to care for it, though, as stewards and shepherds. I really believe that. And on this particular day where we're honoring the earth, with all my heart, I wish blessings upon you and your family and all of our relations, and suggest strongly that you alter the narrative and help us to become a kinder people. I'm telling you, when this happens, the frequency, the vibration shifts. You know, nature hears us. Nature is always singing. The birds are singing, the flower. You know, our people think flowers won't grow unless the birds sing. I mean, there's so many frequencies and vibrations and so much energy going on around here that it's not unavailable to us. Imagine it, as a friend of mine once said, all of these things are in us, even though they might be in a dusty box, hidden away somewhere up in the attic of our minds. They are accessible. We can return to a time where our ancestors walked upon the earth softly, cared for the land, cared for the trees, cared for the water, cared for each other, cared for the children. I don't know exactly when or where it went south, But we need to get back on track. We can see the end of water from here. We can see the end of time from here. So, I want to, again, wish everyone a beautiful Earth Day. And again, wish all the best and hope that this message reaches your heart and that you feel the love and you feel the forgiveness and you feel the mercy and respect and dignity that I hope to bring to situations, and hope the same for you and your family, wherever you go and whatever you do. Great Spirit loves you, and so do I. Thank you.